Hey there, friends and enemies, Jopie here again, and today I want to talk about FOMO in Magic the Gathering and why having a little bit of patience could benefit you in the long run because prices for the majority of products will inevitably drop. Even the most sought after items are going to be available long term. Some will be a little bit harder to find, but the prices are always going to eventually come down. And nothing is more indicative of this than the Final Fantasy Collector Booster. So this is a collector booster box, which at one point was going for over $1,300, well over, and right now is at $9.99 and has been falling. And this is something that is important to remember before you spend $197 market price for the Chocobo bundle, which I was able to find on Amazon for $110, which is going to feel much more worthwhile. Every product that we've seen recently for Magic, almost without exception, has dropped over time. You look at pre-ordering singles. The most expensive they often are is going to be before set release. Some of them, like the Surge foils in Final Fantasy, will spike, but even those are going to drop over the course of time. And I just want to showcase this a little bit because I think there is a misconception that these prices just always go up and up and up. Whereas, like, look at this card right here, the Sephiroth Surge foil. At one point, was worth over $900. Right here, it's at $849, but it was higher before that. Let's go 6 months. Yeah. So look here. If you pre-ordered it, this is one of the exceptions where it would have been cheaper. But again, you were buying very, very low. And then here you are at the peak of like 881 and then down back to 500. So I do think it's something to keep in mind because a lot of people get this level of excitement. They're like, oh, I need this thing right now. I need to be first. And unless you are playing competitively and you need those Badger Mole Cubs in your deck right away to win in standard or whatever game mode you play, having that patience, waiting a couple months might not be the worst idea. And again, even the relatively new sets are going to ultimately not be as pricey as you might see. Like, I got an Avatar Commanders bundle for $110, again off of Amazon. I would buy these at my local card shop, but they end up being like significantly more expensive, unfortunately. I mostly buy singles locally, and then I buy these bundles off of Amazon if I find them at market price. Whereas you see a market price right now is $130, and again, I got mine for $110, and I think it's still available on Amazon. Like, these are still can be found. But you look at the collector's packs for Avatar, and at one point they were $85, and now you can get them for less than half the price, or about half the price. So again, there's this rush to be first, which I personally don't understand necessarily, just because even though it's nice to have things right away, the majority of cards that you're looking for are going to drop in price once things settles. Now, there's going to be exceptions, right? Like a card that's really, really sought after might continue to be very expensive. Like, one example that I do like is the Buster Sword. This is a card that I've been like kind of hoping would drop in price. The base version, because it's one of the cards that I really would love to have for some of my decks. But while it has dropped a little bit down to 35, like, look at how big that dip looks, but it's only compared to, because it's only fluctuated about $5 in total. Like, the bottom here is 35, top is 40. So this is one of those examples where the card is the card, right? It's going to be around this price for the foreseeable future, and you know now what you're getting. It's probably not going to lose a lot of value if you buy it for 35. It's probably not going to gain a lot of value either. And so even if you had pre-ordered this back here, you aren't getting a huge discount compared to the peak price. And even if you had bought it at a peak, it's not going to be losing that much value relative to what it costs. So Again, the rush to be first, I don't think is necessary. Same thing with if you are somebody who is only looking for specific cards, you're better off buying singles, but waiting a little bit in order to do so rather than rushing out and getting them instantaneously because of how readily available they are. Even at the top end, right? If you look at something like the Soul Stone, and this is all monetary because again, for a hobby, Magic can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be as expensive as you might think, unless you're going for like the biggest, the best, and stuff like that. But even this, right, at the peak, if you got it at the low, you would have probably made money here. But this was only one item back then, and then here you look at the peak, it's at 881, and then wait. Yeah, no, peak is like 1728, and now it's back down to about $1,300. So I do feel like having that patience will ultimately pay off. And I'm not personally going to spend $1,300 on a Soul Stone, but I'd much rather spend $1,300 than $1,800. And that $500 in savings would go a long way towards buying other additional cards as well. And I think that's the ultimate key is money isn't finite for a lot of money is finite for a lot of people. Like, you have what you have, you will make more in the future, but there is a budget that most people will have looking at some of these cards, buying these boxes. If I buy a $200 Avatar Commander bundle or a $200 Final Fantasy Chocobo box, then I am now probably less likely to spend that extra $80 on other additional like specific cards. Like, I could buy the great example here. I could buy the Chocobo bundle off Amazon, which I did, and I can still get the Buster Sword for less than what I would pay if I bought the $200 if I was really desperate. Because the Chocobo bundle has been going on and off at Amazon. I was able to snag it when it was available. I think it still might be available, like I mentioned. And that means that if you are really able to kind of look for the things that you want and be a little bit patient, like, that bundle might be available pretty freely after the new year once the initial hype dies down. So you just gotta kind of wait a little bit. And I'd imagine it's not going to go over $200, and that market price might drop like everything else. And so, again, I would implore people to be a little bit patient, to not let FOMO get the best of you. It's easier said than done. I've been there, done that. I've overpaid for cards, and that's just the way it goes at the end of the day. But if you kind of wait a little bit, even the most sought after products are going to drop in price over the course of time. You just gotta wait a little bit and hope that you kind of find it at the right market. Like, even if you buy it on the decline, it might not be at the lowest point, so try to see when it flatlines a little bit. But again, spend your money however you are. If you're an adult, it is one of those things that just is what it is at this point. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video as always, comment, subscribe, have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.